Hello everybody and welcome to another little news video that I wanted to make today. I wasn't actually planning on recording today, but there were so many fun announcements that came out the past couple of days that I pretty much had to do it. So I'm going to try to keep the video concise, but we'll see how that goes. So let's jump right into the main topic of this video, as you can tell by the title, and that is Pokemon Let's Go. And I'm not saying that in a term of excitement, that's actually the name of the game. There are two versions of this game that are coming out, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. Now, the way that the developers describe this game, it's going to be a remake of the original Pokemon Yellow, kinda sorta. It's not going to play the same way, but it's sort of taking that style and the setting of that game and sort of upgrading it, I guess. So yeah, I guess remake is a good word. Remaster, I think, is a bit of a better word, but regardless. And the reason I say, or the developer says it's a remake of Pokemon Yellow, is because you start out in Palatown, you encounter the original 151 Pokemon. The only major difference is that the Alolan forms are going to be present in this game. So obviously those weren't around in Pokemon Yellow. Alola wasn't really a thing until Pokemon Sun and Moon, but that is something that is going to be in the game now. So it's going to play like those games. Obviously, as you can tell by the title and the way these are named, you are going to have a sidekick behind you. You can start with either an Eevee or a Pikachu. Now the interesting thing is, these Pokemon don't evolve. If you catch a Pikachu in the wild or if you catch an Eevee in the wild, you can evolve them. But whichever Pokemon you pick to be your starter at the beginning of the game, that Pokemon doesn't evolve. That's going to be a Pikachu for the entire game, or that's going to be an Eevee for the entire game. And whichever starter you get depends on what version of the game you get, obviously. So if you get Let's Go Pikachu, you get a Pikachu at the start. If you pick Let's Go Eevee, you get an Eevee at the start. So again, that's kind of obvious. You know, the title of the game tells you what Pokemon you start with. So you should not get confused when purchasing the game which Pokemon you are going to get at the start. There's a couple other cool things in the game. For one, Pokemon can be traded. There is no breeding. There's no eggs in the game, but there is trading in the game. So there is like Wi-Fi connection where you can send Pokemon back and forth between people and things like that. The way you catch Pokemon is pretty different too. And there's a couple of ways, and the exact details are not specified yet. The only thing we have is from a couple interviews and then the trailer. Pokemon are not going to be in tall grass, so that much is confirmed. They are going to be visible on the screen, and instead of battling them the way that we have in pretty much every other Pokemon game, it's going to be a lot more like Pokemon Go, and this is where the game starts to get a bit interesting. There's a couple of controllers you can use. For now, I'm going to talk about the Joy-Con controller, where you just, move the Joy-Con and then you catch a Pokemon, and you have to time it. And if you play Pokemon Go, you know how the system works. You sort of have to time your throw, and the better time the throw is, the more likely you are to catch the Pokemon. There is also something called the Pokeball Plus, which is sort of an extension or add-on, and I don't know if it's going to be sold with the game or if it's separate, something you have to purchase. I'm assuming it's something you have to purchase separately or like in a bundle or something like that. But you can also use this as a controller and use that to catch the Pokemon. And what's cool about this controller is you can actually take your Pokemon on the go. So instead of, just turning the game off and not having it, this little Pokeball actually makes noises and you can hear the Pokemon that's inside of it. On the trailer, there was a little clip of him shaking it and then you could hear the Pikachu that's inside. So that's pretty cool. However, even though the way you catch wild Pokemon is different, the fights between trainers and online battles between like other players, those are totally normal. It's going to be the same turn-based combat, same battle atmosphere. All of that stuff is staying exactly the same. There is also a two-player co-op mode, so we're used to sort of the versus mode, but there's also a co-op mode. So the trailer showed a screen where you actually have a friend in the game running around Palatown and the Kanto region with you. So that's really, really cool too. I'm excited to see, how that plays out. I don't know to what extent that is going to be, but it's cool that, you can go on your Pokemon adventure with a buddy. It's not just battling online. It feels like, it's getting more social and more involved, which is good because that's the direction the Switch as a whole should be going in. So I'm glad Pokemon's going in that direction as well. Pokemon that are caught in Pokemon Go can also be transferred to Pokemon Let's Go. I think this is a really cool feature. It's starting to use Pokemon Go in a more elaborate way. Pokemon Go is kind of dying for a while. I feel like people weren't too into Pokemon Go anymore. But this game is going to bring it back. I'm going to start playing it again just because of this. Because any Pokemon you capture in Pokemon Go can be transferred into the Switch game. And then you get it. I don't know if you get to use it. The trailer showed something called Poke Go Park, where it looked like this person's Pokemon Go. So I don't know if you can actually use them in battle or not. You can probably find an article or something that might confirm it, or that's something they might confirm later at E3 or something like that. But it's cool because they go back and forth. Well, you can't actually send Pokemon from Pokemon Let's Go to Pokemon Go, but you can send it from Pokemon Go to Pokemon Let's Go. This sounds so confusing, and I'm making myself dizzy saying it like that, but it's cool because, the games work together, and I think that's cool because it'll promote people to start playing Pokemon Go again, and Pokemon Go is a great idea, and I think with this game, I think it'll be even better. Now, just to be clear, this is not the new big Pokemon game. They are still planning on releasing a full-fledged Pokemon game for the Switch next year. The expected release date is late 2019, but still, you know, this is sort of a hold-off tribute to the old style for Pokemon Yellow, as they said. It will be released November 16th, 2018. And again, we don't have tons of details now, but expect more details to come in by the time E3 comes around. I'm sure Nintendo's going to be talking a lot about this game. Between this and Smash Bros. And whatever else Nintendo has in store, it's going to be an awesome E3 for Nintendo, so get excited for that. So that was the big topic that I wanted to talk about today, but there's two other topics that are, you know, pretty big too. In fact, the second one I'm talking about is probably equally big to Pokemon Go, and that is Fallout 76. Now, I say it's equally big, but there's a lot less information about Fallout 76. A lot of what we talk about here is pretty much going to be just rumors, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. I don't want to give you bad information, but there's a lot of rumors that are coming from reliable sources, and I want to share it because a lot of this speculation could come true. Now, obviously, Bethesda's developing this game. There's not a lot of info, but Bethesda did say in a couple weeks at E3 they are going to share more information about this. Now, obviously, what we can tell, the setting of this game is Fallout 76, and we do know some things about Vault 76, where, you know, we can tell that's where it's taking place. A, because of the title, B, because we see the Vault jumpsuit that the character's wearing in the game that says 76. So we can assume that it's going to have something to do with that vault. And that vault has actually been brought up in Fallout 3 and Fallout 4. This is where things get interesting. You know, I've tried to read up a little bit of information about Vault 76, and there's not a whole lot about the lore and stuff, but that vault opened up 20 years after the nuclear war. So this vault actually opened up way sooner than some of the other vaults in the game. The vaults from Fallout 3 and Fallout 4 took about 200 years before they opened up and your character leaves and goes into the real world. So usually when you enter the Wasteland, you're entering it in a time that's long after the war, but in Vault 76 it's only 20 years. So it's expected that the world is going to be in a much bigger state of chaos. There's going to be a lot less civilization, things like that. And so people are expecting the vibe for this game to be completely different from other games. Now again, that's the confirmed stuff, right, on what the environment could be like, things like that. What I'm about to say, again, I want to reiterate, is just rumor. Nothing I'm about to say is confirmed, but again, there's plenty of articles you can see that quote sources on this, so it's very likely. I just don't want to say 100%. And that is that this game is not going to be a traditional RPG. It's going to be an online RPG. So technically kind of similar to what Elder Scrolls is, but it's described as an online survival RPG, so I think it's going to be playing a little bit different because Elder Scrolls is not a survival game. I don't know exactly what Fallout would be like as an online RPG, but it could be good. I don't really have much to say on that topic. Elder Scrolls Online is good. I don't think it's great or fantastic the way like Final Fantasy XIV or World of Warcraft are. Elder Scrolls Online is sort of a run-of-the-mill one. Fallout 76 could be interesting as an online RPG, and that seems like the direction it's going. Again, I don't want to confirm that. There's still a chance it could be like the Fallout 5 game, but it seems like pretty much everyone agrees that it's looking like it's going to go the route of the online RPG, sort of MMO style type game. And that'll be interesting. You know, I think Fallout's a good setting for it. Bethesda, again, like I said, took their shot at this. And the reason that people are saying this, A, because a couple people working on the project that remained anonymous said that this is going to be the case. And they also have a studio. I forgot where the location is, but they have a second studio Bethesda set up that has actually been working on online games that has also been partially working on Fallout 76. And so because of that, people are thinking, well, maybe that means that Fallout 76 is going to have at least some online aspect to it, which no Fallout game has had before. So again, a lot of speculation. E3 is in a couple weeks. It starts June 12th, 2018. And when Bethesda has their show and exhibition, we're going to learn a lot more about Fallout 76. This is probably going to be their main game. So we'll get lots of information then. But for now, again, I'd recommend looking up the trailer if you're a Fallout fan. I'm super excited for this, and I'm curious what the development's going to be like for this game. Now, the last announcement's a smaller announcement because it's a game we all know already, but the release date was announced for this game, and that is Mega Man 11. Capcom announced that the game will be released October 2nd. So for those of you that have been trying to figure out when this game might be coming out or if it's coming out in the year 2018, ta-da, it is. It'll be out October 2nd, early October, in a few months. And for those of you that didn't know, there will be a new amiibo of Mega Man. The last Mega Man amiibo that came out was a few years ago, and it was sort of its classic style. But this new Mega Man amiibo is going to be updated. So the Mega Man 11 look, which is a little bit different from what he looked like before, is going to be the model for this amiibo. As expected, for those of you that don't know, Dr. Wily is going to be the main bad guy in the game. There's going to be brand new Robot Masters. There's a couple new systems in the game. There's like a quick change where you can flip from one power to the next. And so there's a lot of cool things, but this is all stuff we already knew from looking at past trailers and pictures and things like that. If you buy the Amiibo edition of the game, this will be coming with the Amiibo. Obviously, it's the Amiibo edition. A few stickers. It's going to come with an adhesive patch and then a microfiber cloth. And so it comes with a lot of cool stuff. Again, there's no new gameplay info, but we know the date, so that's exciting news. And according to Polygon.com, the Mega Man 11 Amiibo Edition is only going to be available to those that buy it at GameStop. So if you're interested in getting this bundle of all the things I said, you have to purchase it at GameStop. Again, not new news except for the release date announcement, but if you're interested in this game, I'd highly recommend following E3. I know there's going to be some announcement on Mega Man 11, possibly more gameplay, more components, things like that. So yeah, basically the premise of this video is we have a lot of exciting news and a couple rumors coming out about 3 very popular games coming out later this year. Maybe. 76 might not be out this year. They haven't announced a release date yet. But if you want more information, check out E3. This is sort of my promotion for E3. There's lots of awesome stuff coming out. So thanks for watching. Out of these 3 games, you can let me know which one you are most excited to see. Obviously, Pokemon Let's Go is sort of the big one of the day, but the other 2 are equally awesome, and I know people are excited for these because these are 3 awesome franchises. So let me know in the comment section below what you're excited for, if there's other games that have been recently announced that you're super excited for, or what you're hoping to hear at E3. As E3 gets closer, I'm sure there's going to be more stuff we're going to talk about. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.